What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I just finished downloading the update just a few minutes ago. The new screen here with the characters is really cool looking. I'm wondering if that Wolverine is actually going to be a playable character in the game or not. But regardless, this video, what I wanted to do is focus on some of the changes that I was really looking forward to, and I would like to test some of those and show you the new animations, specifically on two characters, Winter Soldier and Punisher. I have had both of those characters for a really long time, and I was so excited to see that they finally were, at least on the surface, looked like they were buffing the characters. So I want to get into that, show a little bit of gameplay, show some of the changes, and give you my, kind of a first knee-jerk reaction and opinion to what they've done to the characters. So I'm going to jump over into the Realm of Legends here. And I've got loaded up Winter Soldier, and I've got loaded up Punisher, which my Winter Soldier, I have him as a 554 star, and I also have him as a duped 5-star. That was that was confusing. Excuse me. Okay, I want to run in here first with Winter Soldier. And they didn't change at all his signature ability. He still has a chance to power drain every time he gets a critical hit. But the big change is what you're seeing there in the top left-hand corner is the different types of bullets. What am I trying to say? Not bullets, but ammo. There we go. Ammo that he has loaded in to his gun, which he starts off with an armor-piercing round, which is the one you can see up there. That moves over into an incendiary round every time you use a special, or you can swipe back and hold for 2 seconds like that. But the incendiary round, I think, is probably the one that you're going to be doing the most damage with, which he's going to push me out of it. Yep, into Hollow Point there. Hollow Point is the one that will extend any bleed damage that you cause. So if I get a bleed effect here on my S1, it's going to last longer than a normal bleed effect would with any other of the ammo types. So he just kind of cycles through all of that. I guess I'm not sure if, I don't know, I can really envision a situation where I'm taking the time to swipe back and constantly be, switching to incendiary or switching to the bleed effect one all the time. I don't know, I guess time will tell. It's just an interesting change that they made. I'm glad that they did, but I'm not exactly sure how useful it's going to be. One of the biggest things that they have done, and you have probably seen it already here, is the change to Winter Soldier's S2. And the change, I think, is very important. You can see it right here for a couple different reasons. First off, with all of those bullets being fired, there's no way, look at this, even come close to evading any of that. And secondly, for each one of those bullets that hits, I'm assuming it has an opportunity to crit. And if it crits, you have a percentage chance to power drain. So I'm going to have to do some testing, but I would say there's probably a fairly good likelihood that when you're using your S2, you're probably going to be able to get a power drain. So he's definitely been changed quite a bit. No longer are you going to be able to run into this Winter Soldier and just, put it on cruise control, because you are not going to be able to evade that S2, which is certainly not a change that I saw coming. All right, let's get into Punisher. Punisher, for me, I think I was a little bit more excited about than Winter Soldier, just because I've had him for so long but have never been able to use him. And I was thinking that they were going to change entirely the animations, how he plays, not just his S1 and his S2. But as you can see here on the screen, they have not actually changed any of those animations from his normal attacks. But here comes his new S1. So that was 3 hits. Each one of those was a bleed effect, which really, that's a fairly strong bleed for an S1. Let's try it again here. 1, 2, 3. Only got 1 bleed effect that time. Let's try to get that special one from Winter Soldier baited out. So this is what I was talking about. It's going to take a lot longer to go in here and do some testing, because you're going to be constantly baiting that thing out. One other thing to point out is you can see there, the buff that I've got is the Flak Jacket. That's the new buff that they gave to him. It's just energy resistance. You're given 4 stacks at the beginning of each fight automatically. So that's kind of nice, I guess. We'll take any buff we can get. But the big thing is the Deep Wounds passive ability. and the only way that you can get that is with a special 2 or a special 3, which what it does is when you do a special 2 and a special 3 and you apply a bleed. So let's see if it happens here. Okay, so we got a bleed. At the end of this bleed, there's a 65% chance that it is going to be converted into a deep wound, and it was not. But the benefit of that is whenever a character is bleeding and you're attacking them, as long as they're bleeding, there's a 20% chance that you're going to do an additional bleed effect on top of that. And the deep wound ability, once you have it on there, even though it is not doing any damage, it is still considered a bleed. So for the rest of the fight, every attack that you're doing has a 20% chance. I didn't get another bleed there, but every attack that you're doing, once they have that passive deep wounds debuff on them, there's a 20% chance you're going to be doing an additional bleed, which for shorter fights, I'm not sure how effective this is going to be. I mean, as you can see now, and I did blow off a couple of S1s at the beginning, but this is going to take a little bit of time actually to set up, which there's a 65% chance with the S2 to get the deep wound ability when the bleed wears off, and I believe that goes up to an 85% chance once you do an S3. So hopefully I can push him into an S3 here before I die. Okay, let's get him to do his special. Okay, so we'll come in here with his special 3, which they did not change, which that's okay, I guess. Okay, so he's gonna have a bleed effect, and I'm gonna do my best to stay alive here. Okay, so there it is, the open wound. I think I was calling it deep wound. It's open wound, I apologize. And if I can get an opening here to attack him, hopefully we will be able to show you that it does count as a bleed effect, and you can then start to stack additional bleed effects on top of it. Okay, he's not going to cooperate. We're going to have to try to intercept him. That didn't work. Let me go back out, and I'll come back in, because I think that that deep wound ability is really something that I want you guys to see. Okay, jumping right back in here, and I apologize. I'm trying to speak and play at the same time, and I'm not really playing as well as I should be. I think what I'll do is I'll try to get to my S2, and hopefully that will put the deep wound debuff on him. We will see. It's only a 65% chance, and there it is again. You know what? I've pushed him into his S2. That is going to take a long time to get used to the fact that you are going to have to you're going to have to bait Winter Soldier now. So let's run in, and that is a new special too. I didn't really mention it, but okay, so we've got a bleed effect here, hopefully with a 65% chance. Okay, there it is, open wound. So now every attack that I'm doing that counts as a permanent bleed, and there's a 20% chance, there it is right there, that I'm going to be stacking additional bleeds on top of him for the rest of the fight. So if you can get this off at the beginning of a fight, I mean, it's going to be really beneficial to you. If you manage to do an S2 and you don't get it, you know, unless it's just a really long fight, it's going to be hard for you to see much of an advantage or much of a benefit from it, just because it seems like it's got a little bit of kind of a ramp up time to be able to put on the character. So I've only gotten one stack. Let's see if I can get any more stacks. Here we go. There should be. Got one stack, we got 2 stacks, and really, I mean, his bleed is hitting. You can see there 94. That's not terrible. I mean, this is only a rank 3. You know, I didn't expect him to bleed like, you know, X23 does. So I'll take anything. They're 130. I mean, even that S1, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to evade. It's not quite like Winter Soldiers. There's that endured ability. So that may actually come in handy. I'll just let him beat on me. You can see it just doesn't kill me. I don't know how long that lasts, but it's a pretty good amount of time. All right, I know that was kind of a very, I guess, first reaction, kind of knee-jerk reaction to all the changes. But I know a lot of people probably don't have a Winter Soldier out there, or excuse me, a Punisher out there that wanted to see the changes. And those two characters have always mirrored each other for such a long time. I thought it was only fitting to kind of throw them both into here. So we're going to cut the video now. I've got many other videos coming out here. You know, I'm not sure about today. But in the next couple of days, covering all these changes, people are losing their minds right now over some of the nerfs, and I get all that. But hopefully I can find a few pieces of positive information and be able to bring those to you on the channel here. So thanks for watching, guys. Until the next video, have a great day. Bye-bye.